KSYM, you're listening to the Third Coast Music Network. DJ David J here, and we're very excited today because we've got in-studio guests. These guys are playing tonight at Sam's Burger Joint, opening up for the old 97s. We're talking about the Bottle Rockets. And guys, welcome to the studio. I know you just got here, so thanks to Dave Ludwig for sticking around and helping out with this part of the show, getting all mic'd up and getting all set up. I think he's even going to take some videos so the listeners who listen today or those who didn't get to will have a chance to watch the interview online later on. So let me ask you, and you may have to share a microphone there, a couple of you, if you can kind of go around in some kind of sequence here, introduce yourselves, your hometown, and the part you play in the band.
All right. Start.
I'm Keith Vogeley. I live in Springfield, Illinois. Originally from St. Louis. I play bass.
Excellent.
I'm John Horton. I'm from St. Louis. I play guitar.
I'm Brian Henneman. I sing and play guitar and dance and all that good stuff. And I'm originally from a town called Crystal City, Missouri, which is right next door to Festus, Missouri. But now I live in St. Louis.
All righty. We got one more member here. We need to swing the microphone around.
Hello, listeners. I'm Mark Ortman. I play drums, originally from Rantoul, Illinois, via Festus, Missouri. And I'm a water sign. I'm a Cancer.
All righty.
And I love
Now, all of you are native Missourians then?
Yes.
And this band has been around since 1992, am I correct?
True, yes. First
And-
record came out in 93, but we have been together since 92. Yes.
Are all of you original members of the band?
No.
Okay.
Me and Mark.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I
So Brian and Mark
joined the
are...
band in
Go ahead.
03.
Uh-huh.
This is John. I joined the band in 03.
Okay.
05.
05. Okay, so all of you have been in the band at least 14 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
have you... I know you've been down to this part of Texas before. Have you played in San Antonio or at Sam's?
We have
before?
a couple times. We played at KSYM quite a while back, and then we played. We did like a living room show down here. We haven't really done many. Our profile is low. Let's put it that way.
Well, for a band that's been around that long, you've certainly established your, I would think, longevity. You don't have to prove that to anybody.
No, that's a fact.
Somebody likes what you're doing because
Yep.
you get to come around and keep doing it.
I
Right.
played Hello This at Floor.
Floor's Country Store?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, of course, a big Willie Nelson landmark. So,
Yep.
yeah, he made that place famous. So, your latest release is BitLogic. You're touring in support of that.
Yep.
And you're playing tonight at Sam's Burger Joint, which is 330 East Grayson Street. Doors open at 7, show starts at 8, and you're opening for the old 97s, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you'll start about 8.
That's right. We will start at 8 on the minute. We are punctual.
That makes you also different from many other bands and musicians. Tell us a little bit about how the album came together, and from what I read, it seemed like there was not a theme that was intended, but one sort of emerged as you began writing and
Very
getting it
true.
together.
Very true. This album came together different than any other one we ever made. Solely because we booked studio time before we had any songs, really. So it was like working backwards. We usually don't book studio time till we have enough songs to make an album. So then, we just started we booked the studio pretty far in advance, half a year or something like that. So the clock was on. We had to come up with songs, and then we did, and somehow some kind of a theme emerged that I don't exactly know what it is, but there's some kind of something to it.
There's nothing like a deadline to get you focused.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So tell us about what you feel the theme of the album
It's
is.
like there's some multiple themes going on, It's like just, coming to grips, like old dogs learning new tricks as far as technology and things like that goes. And I don't know, there's something that ties it together, and I can't exactly explain what it is. I'm unsure.
And it may be different for different listeners.
Right.
There's some themes about people who are just trying to get by day to day.
Right.
Working people.
Right.
And people who maybe feel like they can't keep up with all the technological advances, societal
Yep.
advances, and where do they fit?
It's just,
What's
I
their
guess
place?
it's just sort of like just, living in the modern world, and trying not to complain about it.
just trying to make it to the next day.
Right.
Well, let's start out listening to, and we're going to play a couple, one or two tracks live, we hope, but we want to start out with the title track, and we're going to play that off the CD. So tell us a little bit about BitLogic and maybe what inspired it.
This one is the song that is truly about old dogs learning new tricks. It's like Mark wrote most of the lyrics to it, and then I helped him finish it up, and then it pretty much is, wow, it's like the perpetual battle when you're our age, It's like you grew up before you had all this stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be that guy that like whines and complains about it, so you just it's just, getting used to it. It's basically a song about getting used to the modern world.
Yeah, and let me say, I probably speak for Dave Ludwig too. It's nice to have people our age here.
Yeah.
Musicians who are our age, who remember some of the same touchstones from growing up that we
Right.
did, the time before cell phones and the internet and all that. I'm
Yep.
assuming you all remember time before that.
Oh,
so-
yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a listen to BitLogic, and we'll be right back with the Bottle Rockets live here in studio. They're playing tonight at Sam's Burger Joint, 330 East Grayson Street. Doors open at 7. The Bottle Rockets will go on promptly at 8 o'clock, and they're opening for the old
And if
97s.
we're not on right at 8, it's not our fault.
It was circumstances beyond your control.
Right,
Well, we're going to
right.
get you out of here in plenty of time to get down there, because
Okay.
Sam's is maybe a 5-minute drive from here, so you'll have time to do your sound check and whatever else you need to do to get ready. So let me ask you, and we're going to have you play something live for us. Since you've been around since 92, a couple of you, and others of you 15 years since then, how has the music business changed, or touring changed, or what you do change over the years?
Oh, huge,
Yeah.
huge. I mean, we were doing it before internet, before cell phones. I mean, when the early days of going on the road, you were out of touch. I mean, you hopped.
Atlas and a payphone.
Yeah, you had a Rand
Yeah.
McNally Atlas, and you used a payphone, and that's how you got around. And the music business, used to sell records. It used to sell at, CDs were how you checked music out. So the biggest thing that happened to us over the years is music became something that doesn't cost money anymore.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
Believe me, that's huge.
The internet has everyone expecting to get everything for free now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody wants to pay for anything.
I mean,
so-
people will still buy CDs, but they buy them more as if they were T-shirts these days. They're like souvenirs because nobody really needs to play them. You can get that stuff. Most people listen to stuff on their phone.
Yeah. One trend that I find heartening, at least maybe it's a micro trend. I don't know. I have a couple of young daughters. One's a high school junior, the other one's a college sophomore, and it seems like kids in that age range are discovering or rediscovering vinyl records.
Right,
So that's
yep.
becoming kind of a hip thing to have.
Yeah, it is a hip thing to have. Yeah.
Yeah, and cassettes. Yeah, the old cassette tapes. Yeah. All right, we want to get you out of here in time for you to get set up, but we want to have you perform for us too. So we're going to ask you. Silver Ring is another track off this CD. You're going to do live for us. Tell us a little bit about it and let us hear it.
Another one. Mark wrote the lyrics too.
It's the Mark show today.
Yeah, I don't do anything. I drive the van. Yeah,
It's Mark's life story, right?
that's right. I drive the van and make sure we go on time.
Mark is the exception to the old joke about what was the last thing that the drummer said before he left the band, or if it was fired from the band.
Yep. Hey guys, listen to this song I wrote. Yeah.
Mark is the great exception to that.
Right. So what it means what it means, and I related to it. So it's like we kind of, me and Mark have been together longer than me and my wife have. So we're more of a married couple. So so it's like we kind of think the same thoughts. So
Do you
he
finish-
might as well write the songs. I don't care.
Do you finish each other's sentences?
Pretty
or-
much.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go.
All right, here we go. Gave you a silver ring, but it doesn't mean that I love you any less than gold. that I'm a man who does the best he can, 'cause it's you I want to have and hold. You give me everything when you wear that silver ring. We like the way it shines, how it makes us feel. Says silver is fine, 'cause our love is for real. Well, we like the way it shines, how it makes us feel. Says silver is fine, 'cause our love is for real. Gave you a silver ring, but it doesn't mean that I love you any less than gold. You wear it on your hand, it helps me understand that it's me you want to have and hold. You give me everything when you wear that silver ring. Yeah, you give me everything when you wear that silver ring.
Silver Ring there from the Bottle Rockets. We're talking to Brian, Mark, John, Keith. They're playing tonight at Sam's Burger Joint, 330 East Grayson Street, just steps away from the Pearl. Doors open at 7, show starts at 8. And for our listeners out there, after these guys head out to Sam's to get set up, we're going to give away a couple or three guest slots on the guest list at Sam's for the show tonight. And I've read that they're expecting a pretty full house, so the website already says, hey, you better get down here soon after we open the doors unless you want to stand the whole time. So it sounds like you're going to have a good crowd down there tonight.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yay.
Now, since you're in San Antonio, we have to ask you about Doug Sahm.
Oh, sure.
And we know you have a 2002 tribute album to Doug Sahm. It's called Songs of Sahm.
Yeah.
We're going to play a track from it, but tell us a little bit about what inspired you. I read the something from the Austin Chronicle online that I can't repeat all of it because it had a few words we can't use on the radio. But tell us in the FCC compliant version how this came about.
Well, it was after Doug had passed in '99. He died in '99, and at that time it was a time in the quote-unquote industry, at least the indie part of the industry, to where everybody was making tribute albums to everybody. I mean, people that weren't even dead. They were making, there was a Fred Eaglesmith tribute album out at that time. And so we were just, it was '99. I was just waiting for the Doug Sahm. I thought people would leap on that, and it didn't happen, And then we thought quickly, well, why don't we put it together? We'll get our friends and, whatever. And then we thought, but man, by the time we get all our friends together and all that stuff, it's never going to happen. It's going to take forever to do that. So why don't we just contact Bloodshot Records and see if they'll put this out as a one-off, and we'll just make it all on our own. And so that's what we did. It was basically just from, it came out 2 years after he had died, and as far as I know, we were the first ones to get one out, So and that was really sort of like blew my mind. I thought, we had a funny view of Doug up in where we were from, because a friend of ours had all his records, and I'd never heard of him before, and I just loved him and just thought he was like a huge, thing. So I never knew that he wasn't a huge thing, biggest CCR or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like it was just real shocking, that he had died, and we felt that there's a Fred Eaglesmith tribute album, but there's no Doug one yet, and so we just sort of took it into our own hands.
And I read you did most of these tracks in 1 or 2 takes.
Yeah,
So
it was all quick. And the other thing that was wild was we didn't really refer to his records to make them. We kind of did them as best as we could from our memory of what we remembered them sounding like. We didn't have the Doug records sitting there and go, okay, well, it goes like this. We were just kind of almost throwing them down as if they were our own songs. But, we knew but we didn't have to rehearse them too much because we already knew how they went. So we remembered them pretty good, I think.
Yeah, and we're gonna hear Mendocino from your tribute to it and to Doug, and it sounds pretty close to the original. It's not a complete duplicate,
Right.
but it's a very respectful.
Right. That's
kind of
what
tribute,
we thought
yeah.
we would do that, because Doug always did other people's songs, but they were always Doug songs by the time he got done with them. So we wanted to do the same thing with his songs. So that's how we did it.
Well, we still miss Doug here in San Antonio, so let's send this one out to his memory. And Mendocino and the Bottle Rockets are here in studio with us, and this is from Songs of Sahm.
The first night I ever met him was in Nashville. We went to see the Sir Douglas Quintet in Nashville. And anyway, it was me and Mark and Jay Farrar, and we walk into the place he's playing. We're just walking in. We thought the place would be sold out, and there was 20 people at it.
And that place held 1,200.
Right. Whoa. But we walk in, and as soon as we walk in the doors from the other room swing open, and it's Doug. And he comes in and goes, "Man, I gotta find a place to take a shit." So that was my first meeting with Doug Sahm right there.
It's a memorable way to get introduced.
That's right.
Don't forget a thing like that.
From their tribute CD to Doug Sahm, Songs of Sahm, the Bottle Rockets, they're our guests here in studio. Brian, Mark, John, and Keith. Opening tonight for the old 97 at Sam's Burger Joint, 330 East Grayson Street. That's right down there next to the Pearl. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8 o'clock. And when you're playing in Texas, other than Dave Ludwig, do you get requests for Doug Sahm tunes?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And we try to accommodate.
Yeah.
We'll probably do a Doug tonight.
That'd be
maybe
great.
even 2, because this is San Antonio.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the last night of this part of this particular run.
We have an hour.
And we have an hour. Well, we'll definitely do 2. We'll definitely do 2.
Well, that'll be great. I think a lot of the listeners and folks that show up will be looking forward to that. So one of the things I noticed when I looked at your website is that you're going to be performing on this Outlaw Country Cruise next January 29th through February 3rd.
Yeah.
Last summer we had Folk Uke on here, to a duo who also played this past year on that cruise, and they're going to be playing next year as well.
Again, too, yeah.
So will this be the first time you've played this?
No, this will be our 3rd.
This will be your 3rd,
Yeah.
and I think this is the 5th one coming up. So
Yeah.
So, and I saw it's already sold out.
Yeah, they
so
sell
they
out
must
fast.
be. This must be a great cruise.
They're cool. They really are cool.
Yeah. So, on your current tour, how much longer do you have? Where are you going to be headed to? Or
It's never really over.
really?
This is still the 1993 tour. So
You just picked up these 2 new guys along the way.
Yeah, right. It's just
one
like-
back through Missouri, and they were there.
Yeah, it's just never really over. So, next thing we're doing is we're going up to some festival in Vermont, and then we're playing up that way, and then we go down to Louisiana. It's like, we just get around, we get around, get around. Yeah.
When you go and travel and tour, do you get a chance to kind of sample the local music scene at some of these places?
Not
You're just kind of
much.
in and out.
Yeah, we're mostly in and out. It's
Yeah.
rare.
Alamo today.
We did. Today we actually did some tourist things. We
That was
actually
good.
went to the Alamo.
It was a nice day to be outside.
Yeah.
Most you can do is sample the food, I guess.
The Tex-Mex and the barbecue. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do another track off the CD, and I selected Human Perfection, mostly because as I was listening to your songs last night. My wife really liked it. So,
All
what can you
right.
tell us about Human Perfection?
That one is, you know, what do you say? It is what it is. You know? No, I did not. You're picking all the ones I didn't. You picked the 3 songs on this album.
Sorry,
I did
that was not.
right.
That was
You're
not
not a fan of me. I'm leaving.
Well, we need to get these new guys
See what
some
happens when
exposure.
you don't pick the song.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to let you pick one before we're finished here. So you're going to pick the last one. So
Yeah. I mean, you know, I guess the thing that ties them all together is I come up with the music to all of them. So there.
Yeah.
These would just be words on paper without me, baby.
You convey the message.
yeah, you
right.
can describe them at least to us.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hear a song that the band did not select, but I did. Human Perfection off of Bit Logic. These are the Bottle Rockets. All right. After some human imperfection on my part, we did hear Human Perfection from the Bottle Rockets, and their latest release is Bit Logic. They're playing tonight at Sam's Burger Joint, 330 East Grayson Street. We'll be giving away some spots on the guest list after these guys head out there. They're opening for the old 97s. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. And I promised Brian, since he hasn't been able to pick out any of the selections so far, that this one that they do live for us, he'll be able to pick out. So, Brian, introduce it for us and let us hear it.
Okay, this one is one that actually I wrote. Believe it or not, it happens now and then.
I was guessing it was going to be one that you had written.
It's really true. This is the one that was written about, like, the whole story of this song is I was trying to write a song one day and could not get it completed. And so I just posted on Instagram about my failure. You know, the modern thing you do whenever you fail. And I just, you know, posted, and then I put a whole bunch of hashtags on it. Posted it at midnight, and then I looked at the hashtags and pretty much had all the lines I needed for this song right in the hashtags of the post about failure. So this is a feel-good song about failure called Maybe Tomorrow. All right, here we go. You ready for this? Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I've been trying so hard, it ain't been working so good. Well, you've been watching me, Lord. I'm gonna do what I should. I'm giving up for today. I can't win, so I ain't gonna play. Don't know what to say, but it'll be okay. Maybe tomorrow. I really thought I'd succeed. I got cocky, I guess. I never got what I needed. The more I tried, I got less. Giving up for today. I can't win, so I ain't gonna play. Don't know what to say, but it'll be okay. Maybe tomorrow. Some days you win, some days you lose. The way this one's been, know what I got to choose. I'm closing up shop. Yeah, I'm packing it in. Hey, I'm just gonna stop before I start failing again. I'm giving up for today. I can't win, so I ain't gonna play. Don't know what to say, but it'll be okay. Maybe tomorrow. I'm giving up for today. I can't win, so I ain't gonna play. Don't know what to say, but it'll be okay. Maybe tomorrow. Don't know what to say, but it'll be okay. Maybe tomorrow.
Great. Maybe tomorrow from Bit Logic. That's the latest release from our guests, the Bottle Rockets. Brian, Mark, John, and Keith are here, and they're headed to Sam's Burger Joint in just a little while to set up for tonight's show. Guys, where can we find your online presence so that if we want to submit a hashtag for your next song, you know where to do it?
The great regret of that song is that it was not titled hashtag maybe tomorrow. But that was really a terrible oversight. But, you know, we're all on all of them. You know, Instagram, Facebook. We have a website, www.bottlerocketsmusic.com. And from that website, you can find all the rest of it. It all links up. Or you can actually, you find one of them, you find them all. Like the Instagram, you know, people like to use clever names on Instagram for their whatever. We're called the Bottle Rockets on there. So you can find it. It's pretty easy to find.
It's like your lyrics. They're straightforward.
That's right.
There's no guessing.
That's
you know what
right.
it means. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, we certainly appreciate you taking some time out of your day and cutting your touristy stuff short to come by and play some.
You robbed us of another 40 minutes of Alamo, man. Yeah.
Well, you need to come back to San Antonio. There's a lot to see, and anytime you're in town, you are more than welcome to stop by the KSYM studios.
Well, all right.
And we appreciate.
Take you up on that.
Yeah. We love having guests here, and especially anybody who can prove that old guys can be hip. They're always welcome here. Now we're going to head out with one more track from your latest CD, BitLogic, and I'm guessing, Brian, that you wrote Naughty Pine.
Correct.
Okay. And this is a song, not many people, or I haven't heard a lot of songs that are tributes to the songwriter's attic or loft, but that's what this is,
That's exactly
right?
what
this
that
is. Your
is.
escape place. So tell us a little bit about that, because the song is pretty much tells the story, but at least what inspired you, because when the listeners hear it, they're going to know exactly what it is that you're trying to say.
It's just a room in my house. It's like I have this old house, and the downstairs is like, you know, one way, but then like the upstairs wasn't like the house was built in 1906, but there were additions all through the years on this house.
Was this the house that your parents had lived in?
No, this is one up in St. Louis.
Okay.
So the original house was 1906, and then they added a room on probably in the 40s, and then they added something on. And the upstairs looks like it was done maybe it's a little half-second story. And it's maybe 50s, maybe, that got added on. So it's like completely different decor from the rest of the house. And so up there. And the thing is, this old man that owned this house obviously like scavenged things to expand the house with, because the interesting thing about the upstairs is the ceiling's 6.5 feet tall up there. Now, a 2x4, they're 8 feet long, so you either had to cut them all off, or he just found a stack of 6.5-foot 2x4s and built a second story out of it. But it's really cool. It's every wall is knotty pine. It's got this two-tone brown and probably asbestos tile, you know, and so like we got a big room up there, and then there's a little room off to the side, which probably is in anybody else's house would be considered a walk-in closet, but it has a window, and it's really cool, and it's knotty pine, and it's got a 6.5-foot ceiling, and I've just got my guitars up there and my amps and stuff, and that's, you know, my little. It's not even really a man cave. It's more like a fallout shelter kind of a place.
So, what are the acoustics like in a room that has a 6.5-foot ceiling?
It's good for acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
It's like acoustic guitar actually sounds good and loud up there. You don't want to play electric up there.
You might rattle those windows that are up there. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's again, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, man.
Anytime you're in San Antonio, please come by. We'll look for you tonight at Sam's Burger Joint, and we're going to hear Naughty Pine from our guest, the Bottle Rockets. Guys,
All right.
thanks.
Hey, thanks.
All right, take care.
Let's see. Knotty pine in that spare room.